Hey, Steve Mignani here at Burnston Auto Wrecking in Burnston, Massachusetts, doing the junkyard crawl. But today, let's do the long-anticipated hubcap game. Okay, here we are again with this late 60s Chevrolet panel van with Val Beauty Supplies and equipment accessories. Well, that was then. No more beauty supplies in here. This now has a bunch of hubcaps. Let's get to it. All right. Oldsmobile, full size, probably 1964, something like that. It's a one-piece stamping, and we can see here that it's, you know, a pretty reasonable item. This, again, is something you would have seen on a full-size Oldsmobile, I'm pretty sure. Oh, the unmistakable 57 Ford. Yes, these could be seen on Fairlane 500s, and maybe even a Thunderbird here or there. 1957 Ford, one-piece construction with white Tampo or sort of masked paint, kind of cool. Oh, okay, generic plastic crap fake wire hubcap right here. And this is the kind of stuff you'd find at like Pep Boys or something like that in the mid 70s into the 80s. And let's forget about that one. What do we have here? Yeah, Oldsmobile. Okay, full-size Olds, probably 98. And again, a beautiful wheel cover. Look at this die-cast outer section that's mated to the one-piece inner hub and an outer ring. A lot of fasteners. I mean, a lot of handwork to assemble this thing. The center logo, but again, that's basically a see-through right there. Kind of cool. That is a neat wheel cover. Try to find one of these if you need it on your 98 Regency restoration. All right. Okay. Oh, Ford Thunderbird right here. Of course, it says Thunderbird all around it. This is probably about a 1965 or 6. And we notice this one here is a removable center. The middle can be crimped in place. And I know that some of these things, I think in 66 or 7, Thunderbird got disc brakes as an option up front. And these actually would have an insert that would be red and say disc brake on them, I'm pretty sure. So Thunderbird wheel cover. And again, quite a fall from the Kelsey Hayes wire wheels that were available in the 62 Thunderbird Sports Roadsters. But again, for mass production, not a bad looking base wheel cover. Oh, okay. Early 1980s Buick front-wheel drive J car. I forget what it's even called. I don't want to remember what they call these things, but it's a 13-incher. It's a one-piece item, you know, but again, well, a two-piece. But yeah, this is probably from the front. We can see the brake dust on this thing, so almost certainly from the front with the disc brake would create that red dust. But yeah, these are front-wheel drive Buicks from the mid or early 80s. Not a very exciting car. Speaking of the early 80s, late 70s, this is an Oldsmobile fake wire cover, but again, unlike that plastic piece of junk, this is actually metal. And General Motors, I mean, there's some effort that went into these things, probably about 40 or 50 different pieces to make this thing all screwed together. And this is something you would have seen again on a full-size Oldsmobile, like those diesel cars, and even Tornados, I think, use these kind of wheel covers. Kind of cool, little trip down memory lane. Okay, and this here looks like a Corvette optional wheel cover from, say, 68, 69, but the R tells us this is the Buick Riviera version. Same basic wheel cover, quite heavy, die cast with a stamped ring around it. Multi-piece construction, but again, these fasteners allow General Motors to use a couple different centers. And when you see the R, this was a Buick Riviera wheel cover, say 69, 70, and when it had a, what was on the Corvette one? I don't remember, but the basic same here, the cross flags on Corvette one. So one hubcap can be on a Riviera or Corvette. And the beauty is, when this wheel cover was on a Corvette in 68, 69, you take it off and you had that beautiful 15 by 7 or 15 by 8 rally wheel behind it. So Chevrolet didn't get cheap on the wheels, but just the wheel covers, these kind of weird things. They're heavy too. If you went road racing in your Corvette, you want to take these things off before you go to Elkhart Lake or wherever you're going to go. All right. Okay, Chrysler Imperial. There's no guessing on that one. This is probably about a 64 or 5 Chrysler Imperial. And again, multi-piece construction on this one. Kind of cool with the depth. This die-cast ring, kind of like a turbine gear or something. And again, a stamped stainless outer. Again, multi-piece construction. Sadly, the steel on these things not as resistant to corrosion and rust as is the stamped stainless. But again, one of the most toughest places to be on a vehicle is the wheel. it's right next to the salt of the road, all the rain and stuff, and wheel covers kind of had to be made of pretty tough material. Okay, this, oh yes, if you remember your mid-70s Ford Mavericks, this is a Ford Maverick with the Luxe Decor, the body matched wheel covers. And yes, these were available like 6 or 7 different colors, yellows, whites, but again, this is basically a wheel cover for a 14-inch Ford Maverick, and basically with the body matched wheel covers. It was a cheap car and the luxury version of it. Usually 4-door Mavericks would have these things with the luxury package. Easily forgotten. And this, okay, yeah, Buick. This is interesting. Here's the Buick Tri Tri Shield right there. Die-cast, heavy construction, hybrid with a stamped stainless center and a nice trim ring on it, multi-piece. The middle's plastic right there with this classic crimped on center. This is probably full-size Buick, 1968, I'm gonna guess, something like that. Kind of cool. Oh, I love these things. A Ford bottle cap. You've had a 63 427 Galaxy. This is the wheel cover that would be sitting in the middle of that Kelsey Hayes 15x6 small slot wheel, and also on a 6-cylinder wagon or something like that. But again, one-piece stainless steel construction. Look how shiny that still is. How cool. And again, this is a true hubcap because it covers the hub, the lug nuts, the hubcap flange. A wheel cover is the more proper term for the full wheel cover. But again, hubcap, bottle cap, dog dish, poverty cap, fill in the blank. Okay, Chrysler, probably 1957 or so. And again, a multi-piece. This has a stainless steel with a die-cast center, and even the fins on this die-cast middle part are separate, and they bolt on. You can see right there. So again, 1957 or so. Chrysler, probably a Windsor or something like that. Ah, yes, the standard of Cadillac right here, the Sedan DeVille, here it is right here, the Cadillac Crest, one-piece construction. And these things were very understated yet arrogant. I remember these things usually on a gold 4-door, 1970, big cars with fender skirts in the back. One-piece construction. They snap on with these little crimped edges onto the steel rim behind it. But you know, we've come so far now that Cadillacs, they all have aluminum wheels, even carbon fiber on some of them. And amazing, this was once the standard of the wheel cover, standard of the world. Okay, this, oh yeah, okay, this is Mercury Comet. Now, we're not talking the old Comets, we're talking from like the mid-70s when the Ford Maverick was also called a Mercury Comet. And these are the wheel covers you would have seen on that. The center's gone, but I remember these things from when I was a kid. These are definitely Mercury Comet, and I think also maybe used on Montegos or base cars, but certainly on the Comet, the Maverick-based Comet. Yeah. Okay, this is kind of cool. Another, I think a Chrysler wheel cover, I don't know, maybe like 1950, maybe this might be a Packard or a Studebaker Packard wheel cover from 57. That's my feeling on this thing. These sort of fake bumps here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. They kind of emulate the humps of a finned brake drum. I mean, a lot of the subliminal things happening. It's a one-piece stamping, stainless steel. Kind of cool, but I'm thinking this might actually be Packard, you know, when Studebaker Packard was one and the same, 58, 57, 58. I don't know, tough to say on that one. Oh, okay. The great GM downsizing of 1978. The Chevy Monte Carlo would wear a wheel cover like this. There, or maybe it's a Caprice. This might be a Caprice. Yeah, there's the Caprice crest. So yeah, this is going to be like a 78, 79 downsized Caprice. Body on frame car, but again, much smaller, about 500 pounds lighter than a full-size Caprice of 1976. So 77 Caprice right here. Beginning of the downsizing. Again, it's lightweight, it's aluminum, and you know, I mean, it is pretty light, so this is even lighter than a normal die-cast hubcap or a stainless hubcap, so it could well be that even the hubcaps were downsized for lighter weight. And again, CAFE, the corporate average fuel economy, every Detroit car maker was forced to get better fuel economy or pay federal penalty taxes into the millions of dollars, so every bit, every ounce counted, including a lightweight wheel cover like this. Okay, oh yeah, we saw one of these on an earlier episode. Again, this is probably from a 68 Chevy Impala SS. This would have had a plastic center with perhaps SS in the middle. And I like how the Argent is masked on there and kind of has a peekaboo effect, vented, so it lets brake heat out. It's a one-piecer when the center plastic. But again, if you're a nasty little kid, you'll put rocks and pebbles inside these things. And when a guy drives away at low speed, he's wondering, what the heck's wrong with my car as the rocks rattle around? Yes, I did that. Sorry. Oh boy, okay, Rambler. There's the R for Rambler right there. And of course, we all know that Rambler, straight out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is a poverty cap from probably about a 60 4 Rambler Classic. You know, good looking, functional, like the car, not much frill, but kind of neat. Oh, okay, here we go here. This is Olds Cutlass from the downsizing era. And yeah, again, with the body matched wheel covers like we saw on that Ford piece. It was kind of a thing in Detroit to offer, but it must have been a pain in the butt, really, because, you know, there's what, 12, 15 different colors. And if you offered the hubcap to match the body, which was a package you could get, the Luxor package, whatever it was, it must have been an inventory problem, a headache to keep all these wheel covers in stock. And if you lose one, how do you match it? So anyway, but here it is, Olds Cutlass, 78, 79, with the decor package. Again, the bolted on Olds logo right there in the middle. Speaking of Oldsmobile, right here, 1970, this would be like an Olds Cutlass, just a basic car, no 442, but again, the Cutlass Brougham or whatever, 14-inch wheel, one-piece stamping all the way around. There we go, the oil drum effect on that thing. Okay, more Buick. This is going to be a mid-70s from a full-size Buick Centurion or something like that. And again, plastic. And again, with GM, sort of that wire clip, very quick, fast assembly, no screws, no studs, nothing to cross thread. And, you know, kind of an interesting wheel cover here. Again, 15-incher from a late 70s full-sized Buick. We'll do 2 more, and then we'll break it for now. And earlier I mentioned Studebaker. I think this is a Studebaker President or a like a 55, 56 Studebaker wheel cover. A one-piece stainless construction right here, and fake blackout. Again, you know, from a distance it looks like it's a vented steel wheel or something exotic, or aluminum wheel. It's just a sleight of hand trick, but hey, what the heck, you know. This is when Studebaker was using fiberglass bolt-on fender fins to make them look like they were like a 57 Chevy on the cheap. But anyway, probably a Studebaker wheel cover right here. And finally, yes, here it is. If you had a 67 or 68 427 Biscayne, you had these wheel covers on it. Or if you had a 6-cylinder Biscayne, you also had these wheel covers on it. But this is the classic Chevy full-sized poverty cap right here, as seen on full-size cars, basic cars, you know, Biscaynes, maybe Bel Airs, never on an Impala. These were the cheap hubcaps on full-size Chevys in '68, and there they are. So this is a brief trip down memory lane, the hubcap memory lane. Lots more to come here at Bernison Auto Wrecking in the next round of videos we make here. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Maggs YouTube channel, click the bell, like it, all that good stuff, and we'll be back with more tomorrow.